Let's talk about purpose-driven goals. A purpose-driven goal is more than a goal. It's a way of filling your life with a deeper meaning in everything that you do. It not only enhances your own life, but improves the lives of the people around you. And a purpose-driven goal makes you feel good about each day you're alive here on this earth, knowing you're doing everything you can to make the most positive impact on the world with your gifts. So today, let's help you define those gifts. Let's get clarity. Let's help you make a plan and become more purpose driven. If you're ready, say, I'm ready. Let's go ahead and write down three things. So get that notepad and get that paper. I want you to write down three things that you enjoy doing. You know, what makes you feel alive? You could get lost in this thing, then you're losing track of time. You're having so much fun doing these three things. What are these three things? Because if you love doing them, we need to make more time to do more of the things that you love. Life is short, right? So let's make every single day count. Write down your strengths. Okay, next, let's write down your strengths. What are you good at? This is a question that helps you define your gifts. What are you good at? Something that God made you obsessed about. Maybe you're really good at organizing things. You're the one of the few people who love managing the junk drawer. You know, the one in the kitchen, right? Next to the sink. You're passionate about it because God gave you a little extra in that area. You care a little bit more than others in your family about that. And so this is so you could bless the world with your gift that only you can do, organizing. So go be weird at whatever it is that you just love and you're just, you know, extra excited about, extra passionate about. Next, let's really dig deep. What is it that you want to do in the next 10 years? What do you want to do for the next 10 years of your life? First of all, how old will you be in 10 years? So let's make all these years count. Don't just write down what you think you can get. Write down that if everything fell into place perfectly, exactly as planned, what is it that you want for your life for the next 10 years? What is it that you really want to do? And our goal is to write down at least 25 things. So don't just stop at a few. I'm going to jog your memory here. So first, start by writing the things that you want to do. What is it that you want to do? Do you want to write a book? Do you want to record an album? Do you want to travel? If you want to travel, where do you want to go? What countries? You want to go to Italy, New Zealand? You want to go to Alaska? Do you want to go on a round the world cruise? Do you want to learn how to fly a plane? What is it that you want to do? We have a goal of seeing every national park with our family in an RV for 365 days for an entire year. We have a goal of, you know, going on around the world cruise and boarding that ship and starting in California, heading over to Europe, all of Asia, right? Going down to Australia, hitting up all the countries, heading over to Europe, going all around the world, going to Africa. So what is it that you want to do? Maybe you want to start a ministry. You've never had the time to do it, but you've always wanted to do it, right? Maybe you want to start a nonprofit. What is it? What are things that you want to have? Do you want to buy a house? If so, where? Right? Describe it. Let's get specific. How many bedrooms? How many square feet? Is it 1 story? Is it 2 story? Is it a winter home in the mountains? Is it a summer home in Hawaii? Do you want to have a chef, a nanny, a butler, and a maid that comes every single day? I know I do. Do you want to have, what kind of investments? What do your investments look like in the next 10 years? How about an 8,000 square foot home with a west wing and an east wing for each in-law and your family in the middle? How about an apartment in Manhattan or a ranch in Brazil? What are the things that you want? How about your health? Do you have a certain weight goal that you want to be? Or do you want to be more energetic? Do you want to do marathons? What is it that you want for your health? Write these things down. We want to go for 25. Let's go for at least 25 things. Did you have naysayers in your life who didn't believe in you, who said less than positive things? How about driving up to their home in your new Ferrari? And keep writing them down. Keep writing them down. How about family? What do you want to do for the people that you love in your life? Do you want to send your kids to private schools? Do you want to be able to help your parent with their medical condition? Do you want to be able to pay for extra medical help? Do you want to retire your spouse? Do you want to help your parents go see a new country and travel the world while they're still here on this earth and you're still together? How about contribution? Do you want to provide clean water to a third world country? You want to donate more in a month than you used to make in a year? Do you want to start a church or build a community center for your faith group? You know, God forbid that I leave this earth and I've only lived for myself. What are the things that I want to do? It's not just making about the money to take care of ourselves. What can I do? How do I get up to that next level so that I'm contributing to the community and I'm also contributing to the world? How about goals for your business? You want to hit a certain level in this next year and then in the next 10 years. What is that level? Do you want to hit a certain income level, have a certain number of new clients this month, this next year? Dream clients that you've acquired. Productivity goals. Let's keep writing them down until we get at least 25 things. I want to see everybody writing. And how about a personal development goal? Maybe there's things that you want to learn, books that you want to read, seminars that you want to take, subjects that you want to study. Maybe you want to study on psychology. Maybe you want to study why people do what they do. Maybe you want to study relationships and figure out the combination lock to love, right? Maybe you want to learn and study health. You want to study leadership. This year, I studied how to grow food in my backyard. I learned how to grow potatoes and zucchini and broccoli and watermelon. Who's the person that you wish to become? A stronger self-confidence. Maybe you want to be bolder. It's the person that you become that makes you more valuable, not what you achieve. So we talked a little bit about our financial goals, if you haven't written them down yet. My good friend Angel Stevens says, if you don't know why, know your number. That's the number in your bank account. Do you like that number? If you don't, let's change that. Let's pick a new number. Do you have a spiritual goal? Do we need to be reading in the good word every single day? Do we need to be spending quiet time with God? Do we have a mental health goal? A mental wellness goal? What are you doing for fun? These are all things that are so important in all the different areas of our lives. See, you are God's masterpiece, and He created you so you could do good things that He planned for you here on this earth long ago. I saw this in the bathroom at the gym, at this private personal training gym, and it made me smile. I had to take a picture and share with all of you. He said, we only live once. Wrong. We only die once, but we live every day. So let's make every single day count. Do you want to make every single day count? Let's do it. So now what we want to do is we want to assign. Let's take a look at our list, all right? Who has at least 25 things on your list? If not, make it an assignment to keep going tonight before you go to bed. But let's go ahead and write down to the left of your list either 1, 3, 5, or 10. Is it going to be a 1-year goal for each thing? Is it a 3-year goal? Is it a 5, or is it a 10-year goal? How much time will you give for each of these things to happen. How much time are you going to give yourself to get a certain amount into your bank account? How much time do you want to wait for you to take that round the world cruise? How much time do you want to wait to bring your spouse on that dream trip that they've always wanted to do? And when you're finished numbering your list, just raise your hand or raise your Zoom hand so we can kind of see where is everybody at. All right, Julia's got hers done. Sue's got hers. Michael has his. Yes, all right, Melody. I can't see everybody at the same time. Lou, yep, thank you. Okay. Now, what I want you to do is, of all the goals that you wrote down, pick the most important 1-year goal of all those goals. Pick the most important 1-year goal and circle it. Maybe it's that you want to earn $100,000 this year in your business, or you want to earn $500,000 this year. Maybe that's your 1-year goal. Maybe it's you want to get healthy and you want to get down to a certain weight, and that's your goal. Maybe it's that you want to finish writing that book. You want to finally finish and write that book. So go ahead and pick that 1-year goal. And then let's also pick the 1-year goal. I'm sorry, let's also pick one goal, one immediate goal for this month. Let's pick an immediate goal for this month. It looks like we maxed out the bridge. So hold on, I got to open up more seats, team. Hang on one second while you do that. Keep writing in your list. That's right, I love it when we max out the bridge. Keep writing in your list. Identify those 2 goals. There we go. Adding more seats. And let's see, while it's doing that, Zoom is thinking. Okay, while we're doing, I guess they should have showed up early. Well, we'll keep moving on, and we are recording this as well. You've got your 2 picked out, the one that you're going to go for the next 12 months, and then the one goal that you have for this year. I'm sorry, for this month by December 31. Now, what I want you to do, under each one, I want you to add the words so that or because. So let's now get purpose driven. Let's make that goal purpose driven. So under each one, what I want you to do is say your goal and then so that, or your goal and then because. So don't just say, my goal is to make $100,000 this year. Why do you want to make $100,000 this year? Why is that so important? So I want to make $100,000 this year so that I can provide more medical attention for my mom. I want to make $100,000 this year so that I could put my kids into private school of our faith. Right? Make it personal. Or I want to have 10 new customers by December 31st so that, or because I want to have a great holiday for my family. I'm going to check on those seats here. Hold on, guys. Let's check on Zoom. How's Zoom doing? Sorry about that. Okay. Why is it so important? Every time we say our goal, we always want to remind ourselves, why are we doing it? All right, we should have more seats now. Now let's get a little bit deeper here and a little bit more purpose driven. Josh Axe, who's the author of Think This, Not That, he says, don't just say your goal. What you want to do is you want to go beyond your needs. So let me give you an example. Okay. Let's just say right now, your needs are not being met. So whatever you're doing right now, you're working hard, you're working overtime, whatever it is, but your current needs are not being met. So you can have your goal. So let's just take that back to the goal of, my goal is to earn $100,000 by December 31st, 2025, so that I can live in a better neighborhood. And, um, so that we're talking about your needs, right? So that I can take better care of my health and eat all organic, non-GMO, free range, no antibiotics, right? You could buy the 10.99 pound chicken all organic instead of the 99-cent pound chicken, right? I want to increase my income so that I can afford the best, so I can have that new car, right? Have that safer car, whatever it is. Okay. So we want to make sure that our needs are being met. Then, once all of your needs are being met, you want to involve the people that you love. You want to involve your loved ones' needs in your goal, or it's not going to drive you. Because if you're just living for yourself and all your needs are already met, then we somehow feel like something's missing. We somehow feel like, what's the point? What's the point of trying hard? All my needs are already met. But if you think about your loved ones, what if your spouse is working so hard, working overtime, has, awful back pain and sciatic, and they just can't work on their feet anymore and it just hurts you. So I want, my goal is to make $300,000 this year so that I can retire my spouse. My goal is to get to, work hard and bring on so many clients to get promoted this year so I can put my children into private schools, or I could pay for college because, Johnny's graduating next year. So involve your loved one's goals in your goal. And then he said, once your needs are met and all of your family's needs are met and your loved one's needs are met, then add a community or world component to your goal. Why make $1 million a year, right? All of our needs are met. The family's needs are met. We've, got right more than enough. What's driving someone to get to 7 figures a year? It's so that I can contribute to all the causes that make me cry when I hear about them, that breaks my heart when I hear about the world's problems and the world needs and the people in the community that need help, to be able to just write that check, to be able to help that situation. So adding a worldly component to it, or the community, makes you want to wake up every single day and go out there and work harder and make it happen. When the why gets stronger, the how gets easier. So what do you want that house for? What do you want the new house for? So you can have gatherings of people coming and going, have more fellowship, create more community, so your children can have their friends over and have meaningful lifelong relationships and the support structure. Why is it important? Now, for my spiritual friends who say, I'm afraid to set a goal because I don't want my dream to go against God's will for my life. So my pastor asked a question. He said, well, how do you know if your dream is from God? He said, you'll know that your dream is from God if it involves helping people. And that's my pastor, Pastor Rick Warren. Talk about purpose-driven, Mr. Purpose-driven himself. So once you identify your goals, you write it down, you add a so that or a because to it, you're filling your needs, you're adding your family's needs to it, you're adding the community's needs and the world's needs to it, how you want to contribute to the world. Put it on your bathroom mirror. Write it down. Write it down every day during your morning routine. Why write it down every day? Even though it's on your bathroom mirror and you see it every day while you're brushing your teeth, you see it, you read it. One thing is reading it every day, like an affirmation. Another thing is when you're actually writing your goal down every day. What happens when you write your goal down? Because I'll tell you, at first, someone told me to do that. And I was like, why do I need to do it? I see it all the time. But when I started to actually do it, because I was being coachable and her stack's bigger than my stack. So I said, okay, I'm going to do that. All right. So I started writing it down every day. And what happened is my brain goes, well, how can I do this? Every day you're engaged with where you're going because you're either taking steps forward or you're standing still. So we want to be taking steps forward. If we're engaging with our goal and writing it down every day, our brain starts to think, how can I? And you might think of one path how to get there, but then that you might have an obstacle there and that might not work. So then you got to retool, recalculate, plan, do, review over and over and over again. When you're writing your goal down every single day, your brain will find new ways to get there. You know, a rocket ship, when it goes to the moon, is off track 95% of the time. 95% of the time when the rocket ship is going to the moon and only on track 5% of the time. But what happens? How does it actually end up at its destination in outer space? It's because it's got a gyroscope, and the gyroscope is constantly adjusting and adjusting and adjusting and adjusting until it reaches its goal. So let's not become weary in doing good every day, because at the proper time, we will reap a harvest if we don't give up. Now let's talk about writing SMART goals. You've heard of this probably. Your goal needs to be specific, measurable, attainable, realistic with a timeline attached to it. So let's talk about your annual goal for 2025. For your annual goal, you want to start with an emotion. I am so grateful to, or I am so happy and excited, or I'm so elated that. So add an emotion to it and then state your goal. I am so grateful to have earned $300,000 by December 31st, 2025, so that we can get the safer car, we can move to the safer neighborhood, we can, so Jenny and Bobby don't need to share a room anymore, so that we could put them into, we could pay for their college, so that we can have the retirement, so that I can do my bucket list while I'm still here on this earth and check off every single one. So that, okay? And then let's talk about your goal for this month of December. What is it? I'm so elated that I blank by December 31st, 2024. That's a SMART goal, right? It's got a timeline attached to it. I'm so elated that I brought on 10 new customers by December 31st, 2024. because I was able to blank. What is that? So what does it take to get there? Let's break it down. I saw this on Facebook. It made me laugh because it's the importance of smaller steps. And that's why we want to do things in bite-sized chunks into little daily steps. So let's talk about that. We're going to talk about breaking it down to monthly plans and then weekly activities and then daily income producing activity. So let's break it down. Take your goal. Let's say you take your goal for the year. And what we want to do is we want to break it into monthly plans and work backwards. So if your goal is to hit a certain level or to have so many clients in 2025 or to hit a certain income level in 2025, let's say you're going for $300,000 for 2025. Well, maybe you're going to make the first 150,000 in the first 6 months by June 1st, and then the next 150,000 by December 31st. Break it down. What does that mean monthly? How much does that mean for you? And then, of course, what does it take to actually get there? So if you're making, let's do easier math, okay? So let's just say 100,000. If your goal is 100,000 for the next 12 months, that's $8,300 a month. $8,333.33 a month to be exact. So if that's your goal, what do you need to do monthly in order to make that income? Is it so many customers? Is it so many, business partners? What is it that you need to do in order to get there? And then break it down into daily income producing activity. What are some high income producing activities? Let's put it into the chat. What are some things that you can do every single day that will take you closer to that goal? Elizabeth Gardner calls it needle moving activity. Yes, call more people. Yes, Lewis. What else? What's income producing activity? Talk to more people, share, set more appointments, do one-to-ones, have an exposure goal. Let's say 5 a day, Ellen says. Do more three-way conference calls. Do more 3-foot. Get out and book appointments. Consistency. Yes, yes. So what are those income producing activities? Also, I want you to align your income producing activity with your gifts that you talked about earlier, right? What's your superpower, as Don Brinkley likes to say? Is your superpower making people smile, complimenting people, encouraging them? Make that your gift, right? That you're going to encourage 5 new people a day on social media, or you're going to compliment 5 new people a day as you're out and about, at the gym, at the post office, at the grocery store, whatever it is. Hand out your business card to X amount of people. Put that income producing activity down. What is that for you? And attach it to how you can use more of your superpower and use more of your gifts, because then you'll be enjoying what you do. If you hate making phone calls, then maybe text messages and you love sending text messages, then maybe that's what your thing is, right? So find out what your income producing activity is. There's a habit tracker that's really helped me stay on track to all the different goals. So not only do I have my financial goals, I've got my fitness goals, I have my spiritual goals, we have our family goals. And so you can print this out on the team website under Grow, or if you go to lizleq.now.site, that's lizleq.now.site at the bottom there, you could print this habit tracker where you could just write down the new habit that you want to do every single day. And then days 1 through 31, you're checking off the box so you can make it happen. And this really helps me stay on track. At first, I like probably check, 50% of the boxes that I intend. And then as the weeks go by, I'm getting better and better at checking more of the boxes every single day because I'm trying. I'm out there, I'm swinging. Every day I'm trying to swing. Every day I'm trying to swing. Every day I'm trying to hit the ball. Every day I'm trying to hit the ball, hit the ball, hit the ball, right? So, and also I want you to plan for tomorrow before it begins. The most important thing you can do is decide what is your highest income producing activity that you need to do tomorrow, because each day it might be different. So let's just say you have a workshop that you're promoting into, and the workshop is this Saturday. Well, tomorrow you might be really focused on promoting into that workshop, and that's the income producing activity. But next week, there's no workshop. So your income producing activity could be making new exposures, right? To open up new doors to new clients. So what is that? Anyway, this has been fun. I will end by sharing one of my favorite quotes with you. And my message to you is that perhaps this is the moment for which you have been created. Go out there and make a difference and make someone else's day by making them smile, right? Pay it forward and go out there and be the best, amazing version of yourself. I'm so grateful that you guys have joined us here today. This concludes the goal setting portion of today's call. We're going to move in and transition into our team event that happens every Wednesday night. So if you're on the team, please hang in there and stay on the call. If you are interested in learning how to be part of our community and want to learn more, please ask the person that invited you here tonight about that. But just so grateful for all of you. God bless you, and let's go make it a great 2025. With that, I'll turn it back to Dave to kick off the team call.
Okay, fantastic. Great to see everybody. So excited to be here with you. Liz, while I'm talking,
Yep.
maybe we
Yep.
can. Okay, very cool. Pulling that up. All right, well, we're so happy here because of this amazing membership we have with our Community Legal Shield that is blessing so many families and helping them. And if you're new here and you're getting trained or you're learning about Legal Shield for the first time, the way we share and educate people about our incredible mission is we share success stories. We share stories about how people's lives have been impacted in a positive way by using the service that changes lives. So what we're going to do is go out to some people that are ready to share some stories and experiences, how they have used Legal Shield for their family and their benefit. We're going to start here. You've heard from her already. Her name is Dawn Brinkley. She is a top leader within our community and a mentor and just a huge friend. And we're so grateful she could be there with us. Dawn, could you, Miss Dawn Brinkley, could you just take a minute and share a testimony of one of your membership stories?
Absolutely. Thank you so much. So literally just recently, we were all going to our event in Dallas, the leadership event. So it literally happened October 4th. And there was something wrong with my boarding pass, the QR code to get onto the airline, to get onto the plane. And they would not let me on the plane. They would not generate a boarding pass right there at the gate. They said that they don't do that. Back in the day, they used to do that. I had made it through TSA and the whole bit. And they said, this plane will be taking off without you. They actually got nasty about it. So I got upset. I was very emotional, but I ended up going to another airline at another airport and had to spend $430 to get the ticket to go to Dallas. So when I got back, I didn't get mad or anything like that. I contacted my Legal Shield law firm, got assigned an attorney. The attorney listened to my issue, said I'm going to write a letter to said airline. And when they wrote the letter, it reached the legal department of that airline, not just customer service. Within a week, I got a response back that said that they weren't at fault. They had investigated the situation, but they were going to go ahead and refund me $211. Now, And then my attorney said, you could take them to small claims court for the rest of it. I said I didn't want that headache, and I appreciated her writing the letter and I getting the 211. I'm gonna tell you right now, it didn't cost me any more than my membership. And had they not written the letter, I wouldn't even have gotten half of that back. I wouldn't have got the half. So I absolutely love this membership. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Don, Mrs. Brinkley. We really appreciate you in that testimony. As you can see here on your screen, this is a list of the services that go along with our Legal Shield service and our phone app that you can have. And what Don just utilized was under the preventative services, the letters and calls made on your behalf by a lawyer, where they can also do an additional follow-up. Those letters and calls helped her with the airline issue. So we're going to go out to another friend of ours, and Miss Melody Montano. And Melody Montano is another, just a dear friend and a gift to us all. And she's going to share a testimony about how she's used the membership here for her benefit and family. Melody, are you there?
I am, yes. Yep.
Wonderful.
Thanks, Dave. So I recently had a situation where I was dealing with a company that kept withdrawing money out of my checking account. I kept writing them, sending them emails, asking them to please stop. I canceled whatever service they said I had. I continued to do that. I was getting no response. They kept asking for more and more information. Finally, I reached out to my attorneys and I asked them if they could help me with that situation. It turned out that the company was based in California. I am based in Colorado. So what my attorneys did is they actually did a referral to the law office in California. The attorneys from California reached out to me, got all the information, wrote a letter to the company, asked them basically told them they had 3 days to refund all my money and cancel my services. I waited the 3 days. They did not put the money back in my account. I emailed the law firm in California. They actually said, send them an email and CC us on the email. I did that. Probably within an hour, my money was in my account. And an apology letter was sent saying that we've refunded all the money. So for me, that was very important to be able to not only have the service. I'm in Colorado, that, you know, this happened in California. It didn't cost me a dime more than my Legal Shield membership. That's a blessing. Yes.
Fantastic. Thank you, Miss Melody Montano. Appreciate that. Thank you for being such a dear friend. That's an inspiring story. Next, we're going to go out to Bob and Sue Joseph, their dynamic duo. The Josephs are incredible leaders and dear friends once again that we've been able to travel the world together. And one of them is going to share a testimony. Maybe Bob or Sue, would you?
Yeah,
unmute?
I can go ahead and share, Dave. And
Thank
so,
you, Bob.
so a couple years after I became a member of Legal Shield, I applied for a state license, an insurance license in Florida. And to my surprise, I got a letter back from the state of Florida saying that the license had been denied because I had a bench warrant for my arrest. And I'm like, what? And it was a county in Florida that I had never been to. My name is Robert Michael Joseph. This gentleman's name was Robert Michael, but there was enough similarities that 18 people in the state of Florida got issued a bench warrant while they were looking for this guy. I went to I called the county, the sheriff's department. They said, well, go to the licensing agency, have them request some information and we'll settle it. I went to the agency. Well, they said, well, you have to have the sheriff's department request this letter. And I was like in the middle of this tug of war between two Florida agencies. I finally got fed up. I used the call service from my law firm. The guy's like, this is ridiculous. He made one call for me to the sheriff's department, got everything settled. I was involved for 3 weeks trying to make it happen for myself. One call, they cleared everything up. Thank you, Legal Shield.
Wow.
And it
What
was
a crazy
traumatic.
story, but that happens. This is what happens to us out there. Thank you. And so once again, using Legal Shield to help you. Next, we're going to go out to another good friend and a great leader and mentor, Mr. AJ Diliberto, who's going to take a minute and share with us a personal story. Mr. AJ Diliberto, can you unmute yourself?
All right. Yeah. Yeah. You got me perfect timing too. Just got out of the car and locked and loaded on the Zoom here, guys. Got into my office here. So anyway, yeah. So so a few years back, I had a Airbnb situation, and we got to the home, and it was just not as advertised. They were in the middle of construction, nails sticking out of walls. We ended up having a child with us. It was dangerous. So we called the guy and said, hey, we can't stay here. So we had to find another place to stay. And then, so he offers us, I don't know, there's 3 nights. He offers us 1.5 nights or one day or something, a refund. And I'm like, no, you give me the entire refund. And so he gets all snippy about it, and he's not going to do it, and this and that. So, okay, fine. So I go to, well, first of all, I call my attorney, and she said to just go through the process normally. She said, I like to fight. She goes, and other attorneys like to fight too. She told me, she goes, so let's try not to fight. Go ahead through the normal process. Seems like what you're asking for is reasonable. I said, okay, cool. So anyway, I did all that, got through the whole thing. And then I got to the end and it said, if you push this button, it's final. Whatever we say goes. And I'm like, oh, I don't know if I like that. So I called my attorney back and I said, they said, if I push the button, anything they say goes. I said, they said it's over. And she says, it's never over. I was like, oh, so you can do more? She's like, yeah, we can do whatever we want. I was like, yes, Legal Shield. So I went ahead and put the thing in, and then it was not going in my favor. It looks like I was going to lose, but then my attorney came up with this amazing situation. There was like a video camera, and the guy didn't say that he had a video camera. So we threw that at the table. Not only did I get 100% of my money back, but Airbnb was like, oh, we'll give you our money back too. I wasn't even asking for their money back. I wasn't even asking Airbnb to pay me, but the lawyer found the loophole, and I got even Airbnb's money back, baby. So anyway, that was a great win. And guess what? There was not even a letter, but there was 3 or 4 phone calls that I made to settle my mind and to let me know it's never over.
That is fantastic. Thank you, Mr. AJ Diliberto. Always inspiring, always exciting. We appreciate you. Next, we're going to go out to an incredible team leader and friend of ours that we've also traveled the world with. All these people that we've seen tonight have traveled around and part of our great community, and we have so much fun together. Mr. Lou Moya. Mr. Moya, I know you might be under the weather, but can you take 30 seconds or a minute and share a quick testimony with us?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me on here. So I had an experience where I reserved a hotel stay for a weekend getaway with my children. And we were looking forward to going out and seeing a new city and enjoying time in the swimming pool. So I go ahead and book the hotel through a third-party reservation service on the phone. And it cost me $657 on my credit card for 2 nights. And so when I called the hotel directly to make sure they got the reservation and that the amenities were available, they told me that the pool was going to be closed for maintenance for the weekend. So just like anybody else would, I simply said, okay, let's go ahead and cancel that reservation then, send me my money back, and I'll go somewhere else. So that led to them only sending me back only 50% of my money back. So I said, hold the phone, where's the rest of my money? This only happened 30 minutes between me making the reservation, by the way, right? So in 30 minutes, I lost $327, right? And so I didn't think that was right. I didn't think that was fair. They actually told me, the hotel told me it is their policy, and they showed me where in fine print, where it says that if I choose to cancel the stay, they have the right to charge me 50% of my stay. So I didn't stress about it. I just called my law firm. They gave me advice. They told me, just like AJ said, they said a policy does not trump the law. Right. And so I felt empowered when they said that, and they actually wrote a demand letter on my behalf. And here's a copy of that letter, has the actual name of the law firm, the army of attorneys that represent that law firm, and a real strong worded demand letter. And I'll just read the last paragraph of it where it says, Mr. Moya has expressed his dissatisfaction to this office for the miscommunication, customer service, and for the inconvenience he has endured, and is requesting that the balance of the reservation be immediately refunded to him in the amount of $327.34. Please respond within writing within 10 days and direct your response to the physical address, email, or fax number provided, and failure to respond will result in further action. right? And so as a result of that letter, 4 days from them getting it, I didn't get a call, I didn't get an apology, but I did get $327 direct deposited back into my bank account. Thank you, Legal Shield.
Thank you so much, Mr. Moya, and to all those individuals that shared some life-changing betterment and peace of mind and security that came from our membership. So if you're hearing about that for the first time and want to learn more, get back to the person that invited you. And if you're have the membership and you haven't used it before, your job is to call the law firm tomorrow and use it so you can see you have to have a story to share the passion about how we use this membership. So get your Legal Shield story started.
Get your
soon.
will done.
Get
right?
your will done. Yes, if anything. Anything else, Liz?
Yeah.
Okay, now we're going to go into some new associate training on how to get started from our team website. And we've asked Mrs. Joseph, or I'm not sure which one of you was going to do, Mr. Joseph or Mrs. Joseph.
No, you
Is
asked
Mrs. Joseph
me.
going to walk us through?
Can you
Okay.
make me a co-host so I can share my screen?
Yep. All set.
Okay, perfect. All right, guys. So far tonight has been off the charts amazing. I do goal setting every year. I've done it with all kinds of people. Liz, that was awesome. In fact, I'd love to have those slides for a future training that I can do for people. But I'm going to share my slide, my share. I am going to share somewhere along here, somewhere. I am going to share so that I can take us to the winning team site so I can show. All right, you guys can see that, correct? Yes, ma'am. Okay, fantastic. All right. So on the winning team site, and for those of you that might be visiting with us, we partner you with a team. We partner you with a mentor. We are the winning team. We win together. So we're not saying, hey, here's your opportunity and then go figure it out. We actually make sure that you have it all available for you. And we do that right here with a very simple system we call the Success System. I'm going to make this extremely brief tonight. If you want more details, come back next week and we'll have more time to do that. But tonight, our Success System is really as simple as share some information with somebody. It can be a video. It can be a live Zoom. It can be taking somebody to a live event if there are live events in your area. It could be sharing that testimony